on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is, actually it depends on where you're watching from. If you're in the US, well, it's Sunday night. And if you're in the East, well, you're probably waking up to this beautiful green Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is up 3.69%. Feels like it's been ages since we've seen this type of green in the Bitcoin market. You can see the altcoins are trailing behind as well, as some of them are switching to red as I'm talking. But having a look right here, essentially, we basically wicked down to about $7,877, and we basically just started slowly just bringing in that volume, and we pumped all the way up to $8,316. Yes, we're having a little bit of a slight pullback right now, but that is to be expected. Now, obviously, by the time you're watching this video, the numbers could be a little bit different, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was going to take the day off. I had a lot of stuff to do. I actually sent a message to the Telegram group. I said, guys, I'm not putting a video out today. And once I saw this exciting Bitcoin move, I had to basically say, you know, there's a lot of people out there, because I do see my YouTube analytics, and I know sometimes I put out these long videos, but I see a lot of people just kind of dropping off around the beginning, and sometimes you really miss out on that key information. And if you guys watch this video from, well, actually, it's almost 3 days old now, I said why Bitcoin might have already bottomed. Is this a fake out? And I told you guys I was longing, and I told you the level that I was longing at. And if any of you, not saying that you should copy me, I'm just a guy on the internet, but it would have been a really good trade, and I do know there were a lot of you that took that, so congratulations, you are up right now. Yeah, I mean, you're still up right now significantly. I mean, you could take profit right now if you want, but yeah, that was definitely amazing. But okay, great, we had a pump, K-Dub, great. What's gonna happen now? Are we gonna dump? Are we gonna pump to the moon? Well, while I'm here, why not do some analysis, right? So that's basically the situation. And yeah, so if you guys are not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel, apparently even on days off, I end up making videos anyway. But let's dive in. Let's give it a quick refresh live. I can already tell I'm losing some of you. Bitcoin dominance up to 66.5%. Now we do have some altcoins skyrocketing today. Chiliz actually made it into the top 100. ABBC coin, Centrality, Swipe, Synthetics, Newton, Riff, Bitcoin SV, Omize Go, Basic Attention, and Bitcoin Cash. Let's check on the volume. Still kind of low. Not gonna lie, guys. It's a nice move that we're having right now. This is a really nice move, but this volume is just, yeah, it's too low. It's too low. But you can see it was essentially a positive day over here. Now, the longs are starting to get a little bit high, 54.27%. That's a little high on the long side. Now, I know what you're saying. That's probably bullish. It is bullish, but don't forget, it might get a bit of a squeeze. You can get short squeezes and you can get long squeezes as well. Don't forget about that. A lot of people tend to never talk about the longs, but essentially right here, and I'm not going to do a lot of editing in this video, but you can see if you zoom in down at the bottom, we were looking for a bit of a breakout. We still got held down by the basis on the Bollinger Bands, which unfortunately, until we get above this, it's not confirmed full-on bullish, but do keep your eyes on this. This is on the daily, by the way. But you can see right here, you know, essentially we had these channels, you know, we kept, basically they were downwards, we broke out, we had this little tiny one, and then we had this third one right here, or this fourth one, if you want to count this little one, and essentially we broke out. I mean, guys, from the bottom to the top right here, you know, you could see Bitcoin is up about 2.5%, which isn't much, but considering all these other breakouts, this is definitely significant. And the reason is no matter what chart we look at, no matter what resistance we're looking at, Bitcoin is breaking out, and it is well above the resistance level, okay? On top of that, I want to point out the fact that we also look at the Bitcoin dominance. I mean, it's not having like a massive explosive move out, but you can see it has essentially broken out of this trend. Now, the past few times this has happened, this yellow line represents the massive blast off that basically kickstarted the little run that we had up to 14K on April 1st. Boom, we consolidated. Boom, we consolidated. Boom. And currently we are what I think is probably the end of this consolidation. There might be a potential chance for a fake out. We may go back down to this level, you know, if you extend this out a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Bitcoin bounces around in here. But for the most part, it does look like it's trying to break out. So once again, guys, if you are interested in leverage trading, it is very risky. I do not recommend using high leverage, but you do have opportunities to make a lot of Bitcoin not using a lot of Bitcoin, right? But I know what you're saying. No, this is a fake out. This is a fake out because look, we have a death cross. We have a death cross. Guys, I've been talking about this death cross for about a week now. Death crosses do not even necessarily have to happen, and they don't always necessarily mean Bitcoin is going to fall. If you don't believe me, check out the videos we've been talking about. I'll show you one quick example of where they looked like they were going to touch, but they didn't. Here's a fake out right there. Here's another one. And yeah, I mean, look at this one right here that they thought we were going to have, and we didn't end up having that. So that's why I don't take, you can't look at these moving averages and take them as, you know, definitive, right? But I do want to look at the moving averages because there are a lot of traders that whether or not we think it means anything, well, who's putting in the orders for the bots? People, right? The bots aren't putting in the numbers. Somebody, a human, is programming them. And what are they looking at? Well, they're looking at these numbers. And you can see right here, we've been supported by the 100 weekly moving average. And stick with me because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row so far. But here's the craziest thing. If we take this exact chart right here, by the way, this is the 200 weekly, guys, the like ultimate support. If we overlay that with the 200 daily, which is, you know, what they consider us to be, whether we're in a bull market, if we're above it, right, the yellow line right here, or a bear market, if you're below it, well, we're below it, right? But interestingly enough, do you guys not agree that we said we might have been forming an ascending broadening wedge? And look at this. You can't even make this up. I mean, essentially, if I was to draw over this, you know, look at this. This is an ascending broadening wedge, but what makes it even more crazy, okay, is the fact that we're being sandwiched between the 100 and the 200 daily, which are basically the biggest levels we've been looking at. Guys, I'm just telling you, you know, you got to look at the TA sometimes. This stuff gets absolutely crazy, but that is what we are looking at, and we are trying to break above this $8,800 level. Also, I just wanted to point this out before we go any farther. If you guys were looking at Market Cypher, it did put in a green buy right here, and this was around $7,907. So if you were able to get in at a long at around that position, well, you know, if you sold at the top, you probably didn't. But yeah, that would have been a nice 5%. You know, if you're doing a 10x leverage, that'd be 50% or even 5x, 25. So yeah, definitely check that out. If you guys don't know what Market Cypher is, I will drop the video above. But yeah, just to let you guys know, if you use my link for Bybit and you go hit up CryptoFace, I haven't actually talked to him in a while, but I'm sure if you like tell him that you use my link and you show him the affiliate ID or whatever, he'll probably give you the 20% discount. I don't know. I mean, maybe he won't, but you could try. Go hit him up for that. But anyway, that being said, one more thing I wanted to point out why I think we're being held down right now, why I think we kind of stopped, is because of this resistance right here. Now, you guys know that when you're looking at charts, previous resistance often becomes support and vice versa. Previous support generally becomes resistance, right? And it just keeps flipping basically back and forth all day. So you can see right here, we actually started to have this support, and then it was flipped resistance, and then it was flipped back support, and now it's being flipped as resistance. You could see, I mean, we almost basically wicked right up to that point over here, and now we're having difficulty getting above it. So the thing is even if we do get above this level, you'll notice that we will eventually have to get up above this green level as well, which is the actual resistance, okay? So that is why I personally think we're kind of having a little bit of a stunted run right now, because not only are we hitting, you know, this 8,304 level, as you can see right here, which is extremely important. We have the purple line, but we also have the green line coming down as well. So that's like double resistance, okay? So we will have to see what happens when the East wakes up. Are they going to pump it, or are they going to say, hey, we missed this? Or when futures come out, they might be angry, right? There's probably going to be a futures gap. It is the weekend, right? Keep that in mind. So anyway, moving on, let's talk about a little bit of good news and let's get on out of here. If you look at what Plan B was talking about with the stock to flow, he essentially said that Bitcoin could hit $100,000 sometime around the year 2021 and break 1 million by 2025. So he did an interview with Real Vision, and he basically said that we kind of need to hit $100,000 by the end of 2021, or else this model might just totally be bogus, right? He says before Christmas of 2021, Bitcoin should be above $100,000. If that's not the case, then all bets are off and it probably breaks down. He says, I don't expect this to happen, but that's the big test that's going, and I think a lot of people are waiting for that, and I totally agree. And finally, just ending on some news, just picking some news out that I thought was cool. The number of Bitcoin ATMs has increased by 1,900 in the past year, right? We had that one over in the Miami airport. So yeah, it's up 50%. So if that's not bullish enough, I don't know what to tell you guys. So yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's trying to hold right here. I mean, we'll have to see. Are we going to have a massive dump in the morning? I mean, we're going to know soon, right? We're going to see what happens when they wake up. But I mean, the thing, let me just say before I go, the thing I liked about this pump more than anything was it wasn't a Bart Simpson. It didn't have a massive, dip. It didn't have a massive pump. It had this really, really nice curve to it. And look at the volume. The volume just feels so natural, But hey, it's Bitcoin. We could wake up tomorrow and it could be at zero. I don't think it will be. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I know I wasn't going to do a video today, but what are you going to do? Sometimes the markets get exciting and, honestly, guys, I